Sanibona, ngaphambi singene kwivideo namuhla, ngithi angithathe lethuba ngibonge i-support nothando nesikhombise lona lingaphezu kokucabanga kwethu. Siyacela niqhubeke nisupporte njalo ngokubuka amavideo ethu, ungakhohlwa ukukhomenta, ushare, ulike. Siyafisa ukuzwa umbono wakho. Sicela ke singene kwivideo namuhla. Namhlanje lapha phambi kwe-ad hoc committee eParliament kukhona uLieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo. Uyena ethula ubufakazi bakhe. Kodwa kuna something ayishilo ephambana nento yashiwo uFidel Adams. UFidel Adams beka kwi-Hustlers Corner kwi-podcast le ka-DJ Sbu ekhuluma noNotha laphaya. Usho something interesting ukuthi i-PKTT spenda 100 million per year, 100 million baphinde plus angazi 400,000 noma 40,000 overtime, kodwa ngizokucaphunela ivideo yakhe. So i-PKTT kahle kahle ithatha imali eningi lapha ku-SAPS. Okwesibili, amadokethi wabo wafikile ngisho ku-60 abawa-investigator ngonyaka, kodwa namhlanje nositshela ngamadokethi abalwa le ku-600.
Look at the facts before us. The PKTT, at a cost of 100 million rand a year, investigates 56 murders. I think the squad's about 38 strong. 38 policemen of various ranks. These aren't sergeants here. We're talking warrant officers, lieutenant colonels. It's costing a lot of money. It's costing us 40 million rand a year in overtime. That's besides the 100 million. That's what the request is, overtime. For 56 murders. Say brilliant. Cool.
For 1920 and overtime payments 26 million, and so it goes up to 28 February 2025. Overtime spent was 13 million, with goods and services at 41 million in total. Since inception, Chair, the task team has spent 415.9 million, which is expenses that are against goods and services as well as overtime payments of the members who are serving in this particular task team. This is a summary of a period of 7 up to this financial year, and these expenses are recorded, we are monitoring, and these were approved accordingly. Thank you, Chair.
Since the inception, looking at the cases, Chair, the team is currently allocated and it accounts for 333 dockets that are politically related, in line with the approved criteria of allocating such dockets. And these, they include 134 case dockets that were reported and opened since 2011 to June 2018. That was before the commencement of this task team.
So usho Fidel Adams, i-PKTT spenda 100 million ngonyaka bese spenda 40 million kwi-overtime. Shithi ngonyaka owodwa spenda 140 million. Kodwa lento epresentwe lapha ya ayinjengoba yena bekachaza. Futhi uthe ba-investigate amadokethi awu-53. Kodwa mawuzwile kwi-video kumhlangano wangemhla ka-5 kuMarch, uGeneral Khumalo ukhuluma nga-330 something amadokethi. Namhlanje kukhuluma ukuthi i-task team beyinamadokethi amangaki esewonke bebesebenza kuwo. Ngifisa ukucaphunela lo ngxenye leyo bese siyayivala ivideo.
General, I have a few questions, but I was not trying to interrupt you. Can I ask my question?
Yes.
I just want to note your attention to paragraph 73 of your statement, where you indicate the number of matters that the PKTT is currently responsible for, or the number of dockets that the PKTT is dealing with. And there you say, as of 31st December, the designated team had been assigned the responsibility of a total of 612 dockets.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, indeed. As at the 31st of December, the time of the disbandment letter, the team was allocated a total of 612 dockets. With that breakdown, which includes all the extensions of the mandate. The 333 dockets were those that are falling within the category of politically related cases only from KZN. And then the next one, it's parallel cases, those that are related to one of the 333 political related cases. And then there is 120 of ad hoc cases that are mainly firearm related cases. And then the fourth group of dockets, it's those that are talking to the extension of the mandate, where the team was directed to include the cases that are involving the killing of traditional leaders, also in the province of KZN. The team was allocated, as at the 31st of December, was allocated 51 of those dockets. And then from the University of Fort Hare Extension, there were 18 dockets. That gives us the total of 621. During that time, 125 of those dockets were still under investigation, and the 114, they were at various courts, and then the 297 were already finalized. Then moving on with the explanation as to the work and the success of the PKTT, it is impossible to measure the success of the PKTT through the numbers as they are reflected on top, although the numbers are also looking very good if we come to realize the diversity and the complexity of the contract killings. The contract killing is different from a killing from a shebeen, where two people will quarrel and stab one another. It's much easier to investigate because you have a potential of lots of witnesses and evidence. But then the contract killing is planned for a long time, and it is executed in such a way that it becomes difficult for the investigation. So the unique value of PKTT comes with the methodology that the PKTT is using. The PKTT is not approaching the investigation by looking for a killer or someone who killed. The approach is always in line with wanting to get to the reason as to why would this person be killed and who might have benefited from the killing. That then will help the team to identify different stakeholders, different targets that needs to be linked with the investigation. There has been, whilst on that point of investigation of the motive, one can maybe add that this explanation will help some of the critics of the PKTT that will normally say PKTT will now and again go off their mandate of only investigating the killings. If during the investigation of the motive, it becomes clear that the real motive was fraud and corruption, and the person who ordered the killing wanted to benefit in terms of fraud and corruption, the PKTT then will register, according to our methodology, a case of fraud and corruption, so as we rope in the hit orderer, even if it's not through the murder itself, but the motive for the killing will make the hit orderer to be prosecuted together with the killers. So that will explain then that critical point. And then moving on, maybe one has to show or demonstrate on page 28 of my affidavit the benefits. One of the benefits, not all of them, one of the benefits of the integrated multidisciplinary and multi-departmental approach utilized by PKTT on the status of suspects that are arrested. The picture is totally different from the normal picture that you'll find in the SAPS. In most cases, out of 200 people that we have charged, the majority, more than 50%, are on bail. But with this approach, we have managed then to have a very effective bail opposition strategy. Hence, then you'll find that under political related cases, 122 of our accused are in custody. Only 45 are on bail. In most cases, it's other way around. Same applies to the cases of traditional leadership. We have 12 in custody and only 1 on bail. It's one of the benefits of utilizing the strategy. On the same table, we're also indicating the problem that led to the request of dedicated prosecutors to be part of the team. On the first one, under political related cases, before the dedicated prosecutors were brought on board, we had 62 charges that were withdrawn against the accused, mainly where you are attempting to charge a very prominent local person. It will be very difficult for a local prosecutor to keep that person under prosecution. There will always be some reasons to withdraw charges. But then after that, we saw an improvement because for the past 5 years, only 20 charges were withdrawn against the particular or some of the individuals. Then maybe moving on to another point under the work of the PKTT, that one feels that it's important maybe to explain to the committee, is the one that is talking to the threat and risk assessment of the threat that is being addressed. It's on page 29 under the graph that talks to yearly statistical comparison on cases reported since 2011 to date. That has been updated up to January 2026. We are portraying the picture which proves that there are always spikes of these cases during the election year, starting from 2016. Maybe before I get to those spikes, to quickly explain the 3 different colors that are on that graph. The blue talks to the total number of politically related cases. The red or the green talks to the murder, the killings only. Why different colors? It's because we wanted to see as to do we have the killings under control decreasing? So the green will indicate that between the period 2018, that was the establishment of the PKTT, up until 2021, we managed to sustain that average of 15 killings per year, unlike before, the years before, which is 2016, 2017, where you have 32 and 20 respectively. Now, one would like to explain the increase, a sudden increase in 2022, which is outside the election period, which is a different trend. From the beginning of this graph, the increase is experienced during the either local government elections or national and provincial elections. But a different trend is noticed in 2022, where there was a vast increase of both cases as well as murder cases to 27. The reason for that, according to our analysis and threat and risk assessment, was when the country was experiencing a lot of hung municipalities. That's why there we see the cases coming thick and fast after the elections. The elections were at the end of 2021, but most of the murders came then from the beginning of 22. That was when then there was a number game that was happening, that if one councillor is removed, the score will be 2-2. Then there will be by-elections, and then so that is the reason why then we had that situation. But then the team, based on their experience, managed to update their plan so as it can fit that new trend that was starting, and then they managed then to maintain the decrease up to date. And also to indicate that on the previous report, it was indicated that there was one killing in 2025. We are showing the updated report that the total cases were 7, and then 5 of them resulted in the killing.
Ukuzuphala kwakho la ku-comment section ngezwe ukuthi wena ubona kanjani, ngoba uGeneral Khumalo ofikile waziclarify izinto, wachaza ukuthi basebenza kanjani and i-progress yabo in terms of ukwazi ukuthi the killings ayaqhubeka noma waqhubeki, bayibheka kanjani, njengoba esho ukuthi basenza amakhala different. Khumbula phela ukuthi iletha kaminister ithi i-PKTT is no longer adding value. That is the reason why disband, because it was no longer adding value. So beyibalekile le part ukuthi akayikhave uGeneral. Ngicela ukuzuphala kwakho ke la comment section. Ngale kwalokho mina nawe sidibane kwivideo elandelayo. Ngiyabonga kakhulu.